Hello, everybody. My name is John D. Bartola, and I am running for mayor of Johnstown.
And I'm Joe Taranto. I'm running for city council.
This is one of the unusual videos for us to be making. Today, we're making a very somber video responding to Sylvia King's campaign. The negative attacks, the assaults, the innuendos, the allegations. I have to tell you all, usually when I make these videos with Joe, we are upbeat. We talk about policy, platform, procedure. Today I'm in shock at you, Sylvia, and I hope someone tags you. I may tag you myself. I cannot believe that a woman who claims that she's running a, quote, positive campaign would go so nuclear and so nasty and so cruel. I read what you had Melissa Comar say, Lisa Richardson say, Marie Mock say. I'll tell you something. You had the nerve to share some of this stuff on your page. Sylvia, you're a coward. You lack the fortitude to openly respond to me yourself. You have your minions like Tony Cassandra doing it.
Well, and then they post these things, and all the people running who claim to be positive, they're liking and passing it around. They're involved in it. So it's the illusion that they're being positive and upbeat. They're in on it. They're just not. They don't have the guts to do it themselves.
So let me start off by saying, one, Sylvia, I'm not a racist. You've been sharing posts from someone who lives in Philadelphia claiming that I'm a racist. That's not the truth. I've spent my entire life advocating for minority communities. In Johnstown and the surrounding areas, I have been a voice for equality, freedom, truth, and justice. Sylvia, you can't say the same. I'm actually so shocked by the way you're running your campaign. People, if you watch the videos that we've posted, if you watch our online posters, I have had 4 major complaints on Sylvia. 1, she's not transparent. We just saw last week how she wrongfully arrested a angered citizen who wanted answers on the Central Park project. I wanted to know why she brought Afghan refugees to Johnstown, tried an entire plot with vision. I wanted to know why she appointed Mark Pascarella to the JRA board, with him losing 150 jobs and a $1.9 million grant. I wanted to know why Sylvia's voted to increase public housing in Section 8, why she won't reduce crime, and why she's playing such a dangerous game with our community. I have said these points over and over and over again. That's not negative. Those are her policies.
Well, anything that goes against what they believe, they label us as negative.
So first off, folks, I'm not a racist. I'm actually kind of shocked, Sylvia, you would say this. I think you need to have your head examined.
Well, I'm not shocked. But
So secondly, we have my qualifications. Sylvia's claiming that I'm not qualified to be mayor. I've read her campaign people claim I don't have a job. Sylvia, just so you know, I do work a full-time job. I have my whole life. I'm usually very careful not to say where I work because people like you, Sylvia, have people like Tony Cassandra and the rest of your campaign team openly posting you're going to file complaints against my job to get me fired.
I own my own businesses and had their people file and send text messages to my business complaining to me to have me fired, not knowing that it's my business.
And honestly, Sylvia, the other things I've seen posted by your campaign people, first you claim I have no job, then you claim I have no education, then you claim I'm a trust fund baby. You people are posting so many lies, downright lies. It's shocking. So for the people who are watching this, who want to know who I am, I took some things I have hanging off my walls. This right here is when I got my Eagle Scout Award. When I was a teenager, I was a Boy Scout with the Boy Scouts of America. I was an assistant scoutmaster of my troop.
So you were a leader when you were a child.
I am an Eagle Scout, folks. We will take a picture of this and show a paint of it later. I mean, I did this when I was 17. You can see my father in the picture with me before he died. I was very proud of this. For my Eagle Court of Honor, my project was I tore down a condemned building, raised it off the ground, and cleaned up a condemned area that was blighted. And I was very proud of that. When I was in high school, I was part of the Penn State Cooperative Business Program. I did a 1-year program at Penn State to learn how to run business. Granted, I was senior in high school. I was proud of this, folks. This is an education, something I did. Sylvia claims I have no education, folks. Tony Cassandra claims I have no qualifications. Here's my bachelor's from the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. Folks, I didn't just earn this. I had to struggle with this with all my education because I was a mute for 7 years. You know, Sylvia goes on Facebook posting about her boo-hoo me. She makes her own little claims. I can tell you, folks, this almost destroyed my life. I was 18 years old when I got diagnosed. I never smoked or drank a day in my life. I had 6 tumors on my throat. I had to have them cut off. I even have a note from my doctor I keep hanging on my wall that I showed on Casey O'Day's show last year, because I had to have a total vocal restoration. My vocal cords were severed. I lost use of my voice. So for someone like me to become an activist after losing my voice and to be as vocal as I am, that shows something. As Sylvia says, I have no education. Folks, here's my master's from Indiana University of Pennsylvania. I started my PhD. I hate to tell you, I didn't finish it. Why? My grandmother got sick. So what did I have to do? I had to take care of my family. I don't regret it, Joe. You take care of your family. I never finished my dissertation. It was part of life's lessons. What do you do?
Completed the coursework.
I did the best. I did the best I did the best I could.
Masters.
I did the best I could.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to jobs, what jobs have I had? Well, my very first job was a cook at the Encore restaurant at the Richland Mall.
I remember that.
Folks, you remember going to the Encore? I was probably your cook. That's how I put myself through college. I worked for Somerset County Children and Youth Services. I was a caseworker for many, many years, working in the placement unit. I worked 10 years at Adelphi Village, working in a group home. I've worked in group homes consistently over the years. And the fact that you're targeting my employment, Sylvia, is shocking. Folks, we talk about the unavailability of jobs in this area all the time. Sylvia, you drive an Escalade. I drive a used car.
Wait, no, I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with an Escalade, so I don't know.
My point, though, folks, is when I started my job at CYS many years ago, I was making $16,000 a year with a bachelor's as a caseworker. When I started my job at Adelphi Village, and I was there for 10 years, basically, I made $10.88 an hour. That was my starting salary. When I started my prior job, I was making $14 an hour. Folks, I make $16.50 now. So for Sylvia to make a big stink about my employment, to harp on it, to tell people to file complaints against me to get me fired, all while she's claiming she's a holier art thou charlatan reverend.
Well, let's look at it though. With a bachelor's and master's degree, if you left the area, your income potential would greatly increase.
Oh, I'd make a bucket of money.
So you're not making the potential that you could because you chose to stay here initially because of family. Mm-hmm. And now you're still here because you choose to. You don't have to be here.
My whole family, folks, I said this to the Tribune recently for the article coming out in 2 weeks. My family immigrated to Johnstown in 1915. My great-grandparents owned a grocery store and a butcher shop in downtown Johnstown. And they had their scandals and issues, and we won't go there. My grandmother had a beauty shop in Kernville for many, many years called Grace L's. When the mill closed and my grandfather was laid off, and you all know where this story is going, my grandparents and my mother in the 70s had to move to New Jersey for work. When you don't have work, you go where the money is. My parents died young. My grandmother and I came back to Johnstown when I was a teenager. I was 13 when my mother died because Johnstown was home, and I've lived here my entire life. And my grandmother died 11 years ago. She was well known in this community. I like to think we're well known in the community. And it's just shocking. Now Sylvia's made claims. First, she's attacked me because I'm gay. Folks, I'm openly gay. I don't hide that. I know as we're talking about education, Sylvia's attacked my education. She's had her people attack my education. I'd like to point out that one of her running mates, Jasmine LaRue, just got her GED. And we were attacked by that by people in her camp because, oh, how could you say that? Well, folks, I showed you my education. Taylor Clark, you made a point to talk about going to 2 colleges. I know you didn't graduate because you told us. I'm not attacking you for your education. You all, though, are making your camp is attacking us.
Well, and someone asked us, I believe it.
Yeah.
And we just told them what we knew, and I think they went and ran with it like we were attacking them. No, that wasn't an attack. That was just factual.
And folks, I've seen Sylvia's...
what you were doing to John is an attack.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, Sylvia's camp... Now, granted, I went to a stripper show several years ago. Joe, you were in the picture.
Oh, my God.
So first I hear, oh, he's gay. Then I hear he's straight with strippers. Then I hear I have a trust fund. Folks, we read all the comments. Sylvia, if you're watching this video, and I hope you are, I am completely disgusted by the way you're running your campaign. You claim to be a charlatan, reverend of God, and I use that word lightly. How dare you? You talk about my gay lifestyle, people. Okay, I was proud of this. I was a leader in the gay community fighting for marriage equality. Sylvia, I know you're a bigot. I know you don't support gay rights. I know you don't support gay people.
I think she said something like about existing or something like that. Something horrible.
And Sylvia, I hope you respond to this. I saw Melissa Comar's posts. You know, Melissa, I want to tell you what I want to say to you. Thank you for posting my billboard. The reality, Joe, is Melissa Comar made $72 an hour last year to be the interim city manager on top of her $200,000 plus salary with the JRA. She claims she's outraged that 7 years ago that she kept a screenshot where I was going to put her in a poster as Miss Piggy because she wasn't dressed appropriately for a TV interview. Folks, I have one comment for you. Rosie O'Donnell. only Rosie O'Donnell. I mean, Melissa Comar is so outraged.
I made the mistake a long time ago supporting her until I found out how I don't think she's qualified to do other things that she's doing and how she was just propped up. And I on the record, was an advocate for her in the beginning, and I have since completely changed my mind over the years because she earned an outrageous salary to basically be Mark's tool to run a real estate company while getting paid with our SOAR money.
And you know, Melissa, I know you're going to be watching this video as well. Paid. I filed a complaint against Melissa with the Office of the Inspector General. They actually came up from D.C. I'm told that investigation is ongoing. Melissa, I don't know if that's why you quit your 6-digit plus job and your $72 an hour city manager. And the city manager, remember, she worked for 4 months after Art got hired,
I know,
pocketing $20,000 some dollars. So for you to go on Facebook that you're so offended that I made a comment about you all those years ago,
and they have such selfless service.
Oh yeah,
making $200,000 a year. Oh,
please.
Yeah.
You're still on the vision board. You still tried to bring Afghan refugees. And Sylvia, you have to respond if you signed the non-disclosure agreement and what you did with those, Lastly, I want to talk about Lisa Richardson's post. Folks, she goes on Facebook blasting me. Oh, he was my friend. Folks, I have article after article after article. I'm not going to go into the specifics unless Sylvia wants me to, as I drop my mic. Hopefully we're still recording. The reality is, in 2008, Lisa made wild accusations about one of my fundraisers at Lucille's. She claimed it was about her because her girlfriend broke her nose. If I say what it is on camera, you're all going to start laughing because you all know what it was. She protested me for 10 years. 10 years she came to events. Folks, I sued her for defamation just to shut her up. And I didn't sue her for money. I sued her for an apology in writing. I sued the group. I sued everybody around her. Every single person apologized but Lisa. Here's a copy of the apology that was printed in the newspaper because they slandered me so badly. So, you know, Sylvia, when you are listening to these people on your campaign who are having you advocate for people who call me a liar, who make all sorts of wild accusations, Lisa claims that I created the Gay Life newsletter just to attack her. That's not true. The Keystone Alliance and the Gay Life newsletter merged to help the gay community fight for marriage equality. And then this is a copy of the lawsuit I was talking about. And we're going to show these on the video, folks. This stuff should not have happened this way. And the fact that you're bringing up, Sylvia, a 20-year drama that you probably don't even understand, because if you actually took the time to research it, you claim to be a woman of God and you're throwing this much mud. So folks, I don't know how you're going to judge this video. I really can't believe I have to waste my time addressing the trust fund allegations, the no job allegations. That's what they're saying about me online. Folks, if I had a trust fund, you think I'd be working full time?
You should go buy an Escalade.
I should go buy an Escalade. What I want to see happen, folks, is I'd like to see people like Marie Mock and Tony Cassander. And Tony, I'm trying not to be harsh with you. I know you have problems at home. I read your wife's post, The Dry and the Itchy. I know all about that. And I know you have a lot of health issues in your family. And I read your Facebook posts, both of you. And I'm praying for you and Fay Lynn. I actually pray that if Joe and I do win the election, we could find the truth out about the city contracts. If you really are making a bucket of money off the city, and that's why you're attacking us so severely, defending Sylvia, I want to know what the truth is. So you want transparency, Mr. Transparency? Sylvia, I'm calling you out. I want you to respond with your education, your work history. Because, folks, I haven't slung the mud yet. I have records on Sylvia. I know before she got elected 8 years ago, she was basically destitute. She got elected and got the job at Ameriserve through Mark Pascarella. Her sister couldn't even pay her mortgage.
Right.
I have other records. Sylvia, I don't want to go this route. This is not who I am either. It bothers me that you've taken this route. I hope we discuss this at the debate Thursday night, because I think you have a lot of explaining to do to this community. And I look forward to seeing you on stage if you have the courtesy of showing up And if Tony Cassander and all these people, Marie Mock, Melissa Komar, you, Sylvia, Lisa Richardson, continue to comment, I'm going to continue to respond with more and more details. Because Sylvia, you didn't research a lot of these situations. If you knew the full scope of what you were getting in the middle of, with an apology printed in the newspaper and the lawsuits and everything else, you'd probably run screaming. So folks, this is a longer video than I was expecting to make. My name is John D. Bartola, and in 3 weeks from tomorrow, I'll be running for mayor of Johnstown. I wanted to set the record straight, address these rumors, allegations, falsehoods, and downright lies.
Sounds pretty good.
And make sure you vote for Joe Taranto
for city council.
Thank you all. Have a good day.